Yes, the zombie infection apparently has just taken over the hospital, I think. You've got the military swooping in to basically put everyone down, it looks
I'd say
like.
it's just overran. I mean, we're hearing, like, goddamn air raid sirens going off. Apparently that the military is clued in enough at this point that they're headshotting.
Yeah, shoot them in the head.
Now, let me ask you this. Why were they rounding up a bunch of medical people and exterminating them, basically?
I think containment. Similar to why the CDC goes into decontamination mode and just blows everything up.
Well, just they didn't do a very effective sweep, it seems, of the hospital.
Yeah,
it's like,
because
if you're going to do that, then
when they bust into Rick's room, we both noticed, why didn't they shoot Rick in the head?
I don't know.
He sees the thing blinking. He obviously knows he's alive. He looks right at Rick through his sights.
He's a prime zombie, man.
Yeah.
They're like trying to preserve his body for prime zombie shape.
Yeah.
They keep it pumped for fluids, keep it fed, so he's got good muscle tone. This is like the perfect storm of zombification.
Yeah, I didn't get why they didn't kill him. So
I
another
gotta
thing,
say, I thought it was funny to look on Shane's face, man. When he sees like all the stuff that's hooked up to Rick.
Yeah,
like for an idiot like Shane, it's like, oh god, I gotta work a Rubik's Cube to get my buddy out of here. We're both gonna die.
Yeah, screw it. I'll come back for him later. Do you think that was his plan to come back later?
No, I think he barricaded a door just so his friend's body wouldn't be disturbed. But I think that did a pretty good job of selling me. And I remember when I first saw this, I hated Shane.
Yeah.
When I first saw this, I thought, okay, well, maybe Shane's not as big a douchebag as I thought. I mean, maybe this wasn't a cynically orchestrated plot. Maybe he did have Rick's and his family's best interest in mind, which is weird because they totally throw that, slack away by the time this episode's over.
Sure.
The other thing is, I know you're a big zombie fan. I'm openly skeptical that this zombie plague could actually overrun society because, like, they showed a squad of soldiers being overrun by zombies, and it just seemed like, these guys are standing around, a door opens, it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Oh! And it's like ineffectual fire, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would have done a better job, and I don't even have assault rifles and chemical weapons gear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're in that situation and a zombie jumps through a door and bites your buddy, what do you do?
One squad guy's going to die. The rest of the zombies ought to be cut down in a hail of bullets.
Really? I mean, you're going to have the army or Marines or whoever these guys are murdering each other?
No, you don't have to shoot the dude that just got bit. But you do have to shoot the horde of zombies before they get to you and bite you, too. Like, all right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I understand what you're saying is, they're going to take the buddy and drag him behind lines, and he's going to turn into a zombie and then infect the whole base of armed Marines. It just, I don't know, man. I've always had a problem with how this thing jailbreaks into the larger civilization. Once the military gets involved, it seems like that would be game over.
Except, I mean, you have to think, okay, we're seeing like one hallway in Atlanta. What is happening in all the other millions of hallways in Atlanta?
We're seeing one hallway in some bumfuck town in Kentucky. Point of fact.
Are we?
Yeah, remember?
Because he then travels to Atlanta. That's
he's
right.
From like Cynthia, Kentucky.
Okay, so that's even worse. I mean, that's a small town. What happens when you go to a place like Atlanta?
This is the state of Raylan fucking Givens.
My point.
He would put the Mac down on all the zombie stuff. Headshots with this? Are you kidding me? They should just give him an infinite supply of Berettas.
I want to see...
Like, the nation's resources should just be nothing but stamping out Berettas and 9mm ammunition for Raylan Givens. And
just let him go wild.
Yeah.
I actually want to see Jesse from Breaking Bad. I'd like to see him in a zombie situation.
Well, he's a pretty good headshotter.
Yeah, now he
point
is.
Blank range.
I'd like to see both versions of him. One at the beginning of the series and one near the end.
All right, we managed to whore out links to all of our other podcasts in one fell swoop. So
I want to see how Snooki would handle it.
No.
Anyway, so
undead. I have one other thing.
Okay, do it.
Ask you. Because they showed this like kind of like they had this zombie. I couldn't help but notice like as
what are you doing watching this show?
Shane is this is like the fourth time I've seen his episode in like a month.
Yeah.
So as Shane is fleeing the scene, he takes one last look down the hallway at these zombies that are kind of shuffling towards him, and one of them is like this geriatric 85-year-old man with his belt hiked up to like an inch below his nipples.
Okay.
And he's kind of got the weird old man posture, but he's a zombie. And I'm like, okay. So what happens if like a nursing home got infected? Because
old zombies.
80-year-old man with a broken hip can't get out of a chair anyway. He's a zombie. He can't get out of a chair, right? Or would that zombification overpower his old man-ditude?
I'm pretty sure you get super strength along with the zombiness. Yeah.
So,
well, it's not that you get super strength. Here's the way I see it working. Is that zombies are a lot like honey badger. They just don't care. So, like you get pain when you're an old person that keeps you from wanting to walk around. Zombies don't care about pain. Zombies are coming at you to eat your brains. They don't care if they get shot. They don't care about a broken hip. They're just going to come at you.
So, so a human that has like Parkinson's disease and they're like shaking and all that kind of stuff, come back as a zombie. They still got Parkinson's, right?
Well, I don't know because
the zombie virus is using the same neural motor path. They kind of like
but it's not using all of them, right? It's using maybe Parkinson's is a different scenario because like it affects motor skills.
So we only use 10% of the human brain. The zombie virus just like remaps it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it uses less. So the stuff that like might normally affect like weird parts of your brain that might normally affect movement or something might not be active.
I thought Parkinson's was something that actually would infect the brainstem and the actual nerves, not necessarily higher brain functions. But you might be right.
I mean, I'm obviously not a doctor.
No,
I'm doing a podcast about
Dr.
zombies.
Barry
Come
Goodman. I wonder if he listens from the Breaking Bad cast. Well, you need to ask him his learned opinion on zombie necrotization of neural pathways.
Yeah.
By the way, someone
more
know
educated
that it's a myth that we only use 10% of the brain. So I don't want an email on that. I'm just being funny.
All right. We've spent a ton.
And if you didn't know that, bing, I just educated you.
We've spent a ton of time BSing, but I do have one more question about this scene that's kind of important. So when Shane comes into the room, I noticed that the flowers are pretty good looking. They're not too wilted yet. So that to me says he was there a couple days to maybe a week earlier to drop off those flowers. What is the timeline like here?
Man, I don't know because I got someone flowers like 2 weeks ago, and I was just there, and they're still going strong.
Really?
Now, if you get those things fresh cut and flower food in the water, who knows how long they could last?
Yeah,
now,
so it's been 3 months.
Did anyone, fresh cut and flower food those things?
Yeah. Does anyone at the hospital care enough?
It seems like, you got anywhere between several days to several weeks of flower time. And again, the most useful barometer we can have of this total zombification is what Jenner said the previous episode, that it's been 60-some days. And actually, you know what would be cool? I don't think anyone's done this. We should make a article on our site about like
analyzing the timeline. Yeah.
And like try to fit the pieces that we see in the flashbacks as best as we can with clues and get the listeners going. I mean, I don't know if it'd be useful, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, certainly. We'll try to set that up.
Or maybe I'll search to see if such a thing already exists.
Good idea. Good idea.
Anyway.
So moving on. Next scene, Jenner welcomes the group to the CDC with a rifle and a blood test.
Yep.
He's got an M16 or something
how I
over
greet
there.
My house guests.
Yeah.
You will submit to a blood test, and once this door closes, it will not open. I don't get a lot of house guests.
No, I can imagine.
You're pretty much the only one, and you have been here a long time.
Yeah, well, I don't want to retake the blood test, so I don't leave.
And again, the door doesn't open.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
But I really like the actor who plays Jenner. I mean, to me, he has a sort of like gravitas. He seems like he could be a scientist.
Agreed.
So well done on the actor who plays him. I don't know his name. Can you look that up?
I will.
While you're doing that, I'm going to drop some knowledge on the audience. Edward Jenner, I think this guy's name is like Edwin or something, but Edward Jenner is the name of the guy who created the first vaccine. So that's a little interesting information, a little homage there.
Huh.
But that's all I have on that scene. They bust in and get all weepy and say, "Hey, thanks for letting us in," and stuff like that.
Noah Emmerich.
Or is it Emmerich, Roland?
He rose to prominence as starring roles in the cult hit Beautiful Girls and Jim Carrey blockbuster The Truman Show. He played his best friend.
Yeah,
that's where I've seen him from.
Yep.
So he's got a couple other things, but that's the one I think I've actually
Cool.
seen him from the most. So
Moving on, the dinner party happens, and everyone is super excited to have shelter, basically, and Shane tries to ruin it, as he does most things. So Jenner kind of explains here that basically everyone just kind of left the CDC or tried to kill themselves, and he was the last one left. And I was just thinking, man, aren't these guys supposed to be like scientists? Aren't they supposed to have some sort of sense of responsibility here?
well, I'm
When they're the
guessing-
only ones who can try to
Yeah.
cure this thing?
there again.
Everyone's just blowing their heads off and going home?
Yeah, it seems like as the CDC would do a little bit better job. I mean,
Yeah.
especially since it looks like some people working relatively on their own were so close. People like, fuck this, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like that's. I think if you're at the CDC, this shit. You live for this shit.
Yeah, and you
This shit
couldn't
gets
be
you
more
hard.
secure, right?
Not you're right.
And this is a fortress.
Like, bring your family there.
Sure.
They got Miss Pac-Man, for God's sake. The kids will have fun.
Yeah, and trivia challenge. I saw that.
I also got to point out that Lori is such a stick in the mud goddamn mother. Mm-hmm. Here she's trying to keep Carl Jr. She's trying to keep Carl from drinking wine.
Yeah.
Like if we ever get if we ever visit undead France and he can have some undead wine. I just think it's hilarious that she's almost 2 or 3 times a season she's averaging, making him do his schoolwork, cutting his freaking hair, keeping him from drinking wine. I mean,
Or letting him go off to be killed
this
somewhere.
is the end of civilization, lady.
Yeah.
Loosen up a bit.
Yeah,
the age
yeah.
of innocence is gone.
Plus,
all right?
if this is the kid's first drink of wine, he's not going to like it
That's
anyway.
the thing. It's like my kid. He wants to take a sip of beer. I'm like, knock yourself out. And he's like, oh, this tastes like poison. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, kids
That's
hate
right.
that. I hated it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So,
Father of the year here. Anyway,
horrible. Mother of the year, apparently. Next scene, Jenner gives a tour of the facility and tells everyone not to waste the hot water, which they immediately do.
right. They have
Every
a hot
single
water
one of them.
orgy. I mean, this
A
is
literal hot water orgy. Rick and Lori are screwing in the shower.
It's like a body wash commercial. I've never seen people that weren't paid to enjoy a shower so much. Until we get to the wah-wah of Shane and Andrea.
Yeah, they're not too happy about it.
Yeah. Andrea's taking a nice catatonic shower.
Yeah.
Shane's taking a shower of regrets.
I do have to say that I really felt their joy in this scene, because if you can imagine being out there in that world and then coming indoors where everything is safe, that has to be such an epic feeling of security and a sense of relief.
Yes.
That I love that scene.
Yeah, I want to mention that too, because it reminded me in the first pilot episode when he takes I always forget this dude's name, the guy he's talking to on the CB.
Morgan.
Morgan and his son to the jailhouse or to the sheriff's department. There's hot water and just a simple pleasure of taking a hot shower.
Yeah.
And I've been on camping trips where it's been a while and it does feel so good. If it's been days, weeks, and there's been zombies after me.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job of showing just a simple human pleasure of comfort and warmth.
Yeah. And security. So moving on, Andrea mourns the end of the world and the loss of her sister. Basically, she's crying, and Dale comes up, and she's actually puking into the toilet. Yeah. You think that was from the wine, or more just from grief?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, not just grief, but just being. I think she took Jenner's. While everyone else is kind of just overdosing or getting high on the comfort, she's actually focusing on what he's saying, which is the people that are supposed to fix this problem are dead and gone, and no one's fixing it.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting that the two seemingly most pragmatic people in this series are both taking it very hard.
Right. Also, the next scene, Rick takes the opportunity that I think it feels like he gives this speech like 3 different times. He's given it to Jenner, he gives it to Herschel, but it's all about you don't know
who. I don't know a Herschel. Who's a Herschel?
It's not a spoiler. It's just a dude.
All right.
It's a dude. A dude can't be a spoiler.
All right. Herschel.
Anyway, Herschel, the guy who invents the chocolate candy, milk milk chocolate candy. He always gives a speech like, you don't know what it's like out there, to someone that is sitting in a position where they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
I think, and he gives it almost identically. Any thoughts on that, Jim?
I mean, Jenner really doesn't know what it's like, right? He never went out, apparently.
Right, but
he stayed indoors.
At this point, like, I understand why he gave it to
Jenner.
Well, no, the other guy, because, but he's not Jenner's not trying to evict him. He's not trying to hassle him. Like, Rick's like,
That's true.
You have to understand what it's like out there. And I'm like,
I think, that's his way of thanking Jenner, right? He's like trying to impress how much it means to him that he let him in.
But Jenner's seen some shit too, man. I mean, the whole place is,
the thing with his wife.
Well, they don't know about that yet. But
that's
still,
true.
What he just told him seems pretty horrific. All your coworkers taking turns suiciding, and
I don't know. When I had a office job, I wouldn't have thought that was so bad.
Yeah,
some of them.
Philharmonic.
Not going there. So the next scene, Shane is attempting to explain to Lori basically why he thought Rick was dead, and then he attempts to rape her, of course.
Yeah,
and a lot of people forget how intense and disturbing this scene is, I think. Because this, to me, is one of the more disturbing scenes. There's gore everywhere, but this part is really disturbing to me. The way Shane is acting, the sense of ownership, that he feels for Lori and her kid.
From the very beginning, like, I gotta say some things to you and you're gonna listen to them.
Yeah.
Just it rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning, and then he actually tries to physically force herself, and she's in a vulnerable state.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, she's not wearing any pants in a public area for some reason.
Just roll around, no pants.
And it's too bad Rick was explaining, why Jenner doesn't know what it's like out there, because here, his wife is getting raped by his buddy.
Yeah, horrible scene.
And I don't understand.
People seem to let that go. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think I still to this day, when we get feedback where a fan tries to kind of, I want to say justify, but explain why it's like, no, I get why it happens. It still doesn't make it cool, and it doesn't make me like Shane anymore. And I also think that I don't understand why the writers took, it looks like, a great pains in this flashback to make Shane seem like a more sympathetic, dutiful friend, and then so I'm like, okay, I'm going to give Shane a clean slate. And then he tries to... Do you think that they minimized the impact that this would have with the fans, or they didn't get it themselves? Or... we've talked about AMC being misogynist, but this is pretty...
Yeah, well, we also talked...
that this is understandable behavior, that's, like, beyond the pale, in my opinion.
I don't know. Honestly, we talk a lot about how Shane has flip-flopped as a character so many times. We feel... like he got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways, and we also feel like he's a huge asshole in a lot of other ways. But so I really don't know what they're going for here. It's schizophrenic. That character to me has no center yet. Is that all you had to say about that scene?
Yes.
Okay.
It ends with Lori doing an effective throat rip. On Shane.
Yeah. So then we move to breakfast the next morning.
Well, did you? Oh, we did skip kind of Rick rolling around.
Rickroll. We're gonna Rickroll our audience.
Rickroll Lori, rolling around in bed with Lori. Trying to give her this like, hey, we don't have to be any afraid anymore. We're safe. Which I thought was pretty not funny, but ironic considering she just got assaulted because she's sobbing. He doesn't understand why, and he's like, "No, Lori, we're safe." There are no rapists here, Lori. I'm an officer. I've secured the premise. I just thought it was hilarious.
Oh, man.
Especially Andrew Lincoln. What's the opposite of a ward? Because his accent in this particular episode when he was trying to play drunk Southerner was horrible. Horrifying.
Yeah, it's not particularly good.
Especially since I'm coming from Justified and they have really good Southern accents. These people are hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in Justified is British.
It's killing me. It's killing me!
So then we go to breakfast the next morning, and basically everybody's hungover. Glenn is in rough shape.
Glenn looks like he's about to be patient TS-20. And jump in the cat's can.
Yeah.
He's on death's door.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I never understand this. They're talking across the table, and Rick says something, and then Shane makes some offhanded comment and looks directly at Laurie. And I never understand why this works in TV. People don't notice his obvious stare at a person when he says something telling.
Right. Like nobody in real life, people are actually looking at this exchange and like, whoa, that was a moment that just happened.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Right.
Something weird just happened.
Right.
No one says anything here.
You think Dale would be there? Like, I would have loved it if they panned that to Dale and he's looking at him like horrified, like, Jesus.
That could have actually worked.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, no, actually would have played in with the way they're developing.
Exactly.
Dale's kind of like, I'm on to you, boy.
Yeah.
Routine.
But I don't know. Basically, I don't remember exactly what happens in the scene, what they talk about.
Well,
it seemed inconsequential.
I mean, everybody commented on Shane's wound.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he plays it off. And,
he did it in his sleep. How do you do that in your sleep?
Right.
He sleeps on a bed of nails.
Well, I mean, I guess people would have violent dreams, maybe.
He sleeps with a bear, a grizzly bear.
He's like, I got lonely and I tried to force myself on Jenner. He didn't take too kindly.
No, your Shane's not quite as good as your
Shane's
Ray.
not so good. No, I have a good read on Shane.
All right, let's move on then. So here's a big scene.
It's like this is a really cool scene.
Yeah. This is one of the better scenes in the show. Jenner basically explains how the infection works to everybody. He shows the animation.
It's basically the opening credit sequence of Spider-Man. And I'm like, I was like, what is it? Tobey Maguire?
Yeah,
what?
TG or TM19.
Produced by Ari. What? Anyway.
Yeah. So basically he says, hey, this is how the infection works. And I don't know if it's significant or not, but Jenner calls what happens after they die a resurrection rather than like a reanimation or anything. Because to me, it's more of a reanimation. It's not necessarily a resurrection because the whole brain doesn't come back, you know?
Right. Although,
but I wonder if he has more knowledge. Maybe that's what he's whispering to Rick. Here's why I call it a resurrection.
It's all the wrath of God.
It's all Jesus.
But this is probably the most science-y the show gets with, they talk that it spreads like meningitis. Mm-hmm, so it's like, go ahead.
I think it was much needed at this point, right? We want some information, even this little dribble of information.
Yeah, it's like that it can happen, and this is going to be good for dramatic possibilities later, that they've documented it happening in as little as 3 minutes. It sometimes takes as long as 8 hours. So basically the show can make it as long as they fucking need to be dramatically appropriate. I'm sure they're going to play with that before the series is over.
Oh, for sure.
They also make it very clear that the human part doesn't come back. Although I thought it was interesting when the brain got restarted, there was like little kind of like shots fired into the cerebellum. Which explains why maybe the zombies do have a little bit of functional awareness of who they used to be and their surroundings, because it's not, it's almost like they're in a walking coma, but every once in a while synapse fires and it's like, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do with it. I'm just kind of drawn to it.
Why am I eating these people's brains?
Yeah. I used to hate brain.
The other thing that I thought was significant is the Jenner has not had any communication with anybody for almost a month here. So we know that it's been a while since even the CDC and the French, as he says later, who were the last people working on this problem, have gone dark. Mm-hmm. So it's been a while that he's been underground.
Right. And so the end of the video climaxes with the person starting to strain and be like a zombie, and then the patient's terminated with a bullet.
Yeah.
And I thought Andrew kind of like blew him shit for this. Like, you shot your patient. And I'm like, well, you shot your sister, bitch.
Yeah. How is that any different?
What, is he supposed to just keep her clamped there and, making zombie brain porn?
I don't know, man.
There's no internet left to show it. I mean, come on.
That's messed up.
Brazzers.
I love Daryl's reaction to just everything in this episode. His immediate reaction is to either start drinking or killing people. Like here, he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to get drunk again."
Right. Or he basically drinks or shoots.
Yeah.
Or stabs anything that's in his way, including steel doors.
Yep.
The other thing we got a little bit more dribble is that before the world stopped working, no one was really close to finding a cure. The closest were the French, and then they ran out of power just like they're about to. So we don't unlike things like what was that? The I Am Legend. There is no like enclave of humanity that can even make a useful. Make use of a cure if they had one, and there's no one that really has one.
And I think that was a major point of this episode, is to really drill into the audience's head that this is it. They are not going to find a cure for this.
Yeah, it's a survival mode from this point forward.
Yep.
Wait for it to burn out if you can.
Yep. Moving on. Rick and Shane and T-Dog and Glenn all go down to the basement to do what exactly?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, first
check
of all, did you
fuel?
ever talk about the Dale is the one asked about the clock? He's the one.
Yeah, Dale did ask about the countdown
and,
clock.
And you made an interesting point that he was the one. It seems like Dale is the one concerned with time. He's the one that gave the speech about the
ass watch.
Yeah, and now he's the one that notices the clock pointing down. Do you think that'll continue to be a character trait?
I don't know. I don't really see a significance to it. It was just something I was like, you're obsessed with time, old man.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
But I will say that, yes, they did have a scene where they went down to the basement, spent 5 minutes verifying what Jenner just already told us.
Yeah, we're about to run out of power.
And that Lori and them can, confirm moments later that, yes, we've run out of power and air conditioning and lights and stuff are shutting off. So I thought there was a lot of wasted time. I don't know what else they'd use it for, but I didn't understand what they were thinking when they're like, "Oh, we need a frantic search for empty barrels in the basement."
I feel like
bunch of minor characters coming in from all sides saying, "Yup, in this area too, there's no all the generators are dead."
yeah.
What do you think, Glenn? Yep, I checked in this quadrant. No generators.
All the fuel's gone too. I feel like this was basically them saying, "Okay, it would seem a little too weird for Dale to look up at the clock at exactly 30 minutes and for everything to start shutting down."
Exactly an hour.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it would be weird if he looked up and it was exactly shutting down time.
Right.
But we need them to do something in the 30 minutes that it takes to get there.
Right.
So what are we going to have him do? We're just going to have him putz around. So I just felt like they didn't know what to do at that point.
Right. I mean, it doesn't feel like the episode was compressed, and needed the cut. It just seems like they could have trimmed that and maybe made the opening scene with Shane a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
Or spent some more time talking about the details of this. I think maybe they deliberately didn't do that because they don't want to, you know, cuff themselves or paint themselves in the corner with the rules of the universe too much. But anyway, I also thought it was an interesting reversal when the doctor's talking about how the French were the last to surrender. What a reversal. Viva la France. Americans are pussing out and blowing their heads off, and the French are there buckling down.
I hope we don't have any French listeners. I
hope
giving
them props.
I hope we didn't.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but you're playing on the reputation of being
surrenderers. Just because in the 20th century you're a bunch of rifle-dropping surrender monkeys, I appreciate in the 21st century zombie apocalypse you buttoned down and did what needed to be done.
The comments of A. Ron Hubbard are not necessarily the comments
Bullshit.
of
I'm half Jabal Move. It's half me. Send it all to me.
The comments of A. Ron Hubbard are only 50%. All right, let's move on.
Doors closed.
Yeah, doors closed. Well, Jenner weeps first. Jenner weeps over his wife, a picture of his wife.
It's the shortest verse in the Bible. Jenner weeps.
Jenner weeps. So, and he's got like his Sunday best on too. He's wearing a tie. He's all dressed up.
Yeah.
He's got his lab coat on. And then he locks everybody inside.
Because he knows he's about to deliver some ridiculous dialogue, and he wanted a tie to kind of carry his presence to carry today.
Sure. If he was in a hoodie, no, not buying it.
He'd look like he'd just be a homeless man screaming stuff.
Yeah. We don't even think you know how to run this facility.
Right.
So, of course, Daryl's reaction to being locked in is his usual. Immediately try to kill someone.
Right.
With an axe, which would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. Or no, he comes at him with the bottle, doesn't he? He's going to smash the bottle on his head. Then later he gets the axe.
Yeah.
Goes at him again.
He makes multiple attempts to kill Jenner in this episode.
He does.
And then Shane gets into the act. That was pretty funny.
Yep.
But also because people are like, what the hell is going on here? And then Jenner, he goes into crazy homeless guy mode. And he's like, you understand, we work with very nasty stuff.
Stuff you do not want to get out.
Weaponized
ever.
Smallpox. Ebola. Virus. There once was a man from Nantucket.
Teletubbies.
He's just like shouting 3-syllable phrases. And putting the emphasis on the last one. I thought it was hilarious.
It's like a shouting monotone. It's weird.
Right. But there's always like, it's like a tone poem, man. He's like a beat poet, only he's screaming about scientific terms. And this struck me as funny the very first time I saw it, too. It's like, the director like was cool with this approach.
I don't know. I kind of see it working a little bit.
I think he needed to go, think it was if he was going to go that far, I think he needed to go a little bit further and just completely come unhinged and rage. Where this was like he was a little bit, but maybe that's his character. I mean, this is a scientist. This is as fucking crazy as he gets.
Yeah. I could see that. So I don't have a whole lot more to say on that scene. They try to bust out. They're hitting the door with, axes and did they shoot it? I don't think they shoot it.
No, I thought they did.
They just hit it with axes.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't try shooting it now that I come to think of it.
Yeah, they shoot the window later, but
and Shane wastes like millions of dollars worth of computer equipment.
Yeah,
with a shotgun.
And I was thinking, man, I hope that's not the computer that unlocks the doors, because we might need that.
Right.
So moving on, Jenner basically reveals that TS-19 was his wife, and they eventually convince him to let them out. Mm-hmm. In kind of a longish scene here, where Shane does attack him.
This is, I guess, I don't think this is a spoiler, but his whole speech here is basically Laurie's POV for season 2, because she's actually kind of giving the justification for why they should be allowed to choose. Mm-hmm. And in season 2, she pretty much reverses herself and goes into full-blown Jenner mode.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Why? I mean, we talked a lot about that in the podcast. I just thought it was interesting. Do you think that's a deliberate kind of brain bug that they infected her with, or do you think it was...
I think it's just a culmination of everything she's seen. You know, I mean, when she's here, she's seeing, oh my goodness, there are still pockets that are safe. Mm-hmm. Jenner totally shatters that and then kind of sends her into a spiral, I think.
I thought it was interesting, Rick, his let us keep going for as long as we can. That, I think, is the that's basically the plot of the whole show. That's the subtitle, the context.
Yeah.
There is no cure. There's no normality. We're going to just try to keep going as long as we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in the comics, like, they're obviously way far ahead of where the TV show is, but that's pretty much, what they're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing I love in this scene is, of course, again, Daryl is my favorite character, man. His uncontrollable rage when he tells him that the door's built to withstand a rocket launcher. He's like, your head ain't! And he comes out with the axe. I love it.
It was not designed. Well, your head ain't. That's so funny because sometimes the dumbest people, and I'm not saying Daryl's necessarily dumb, but at this point in the series, we're meant to believe he is. Sometimes the dumbest people have the best smack as far as, shutting people the fuck up.
Well, that's your mom joke is the classic, right? Like, back when that was still a thing.
I've just always been impressed that, like, when it's go time, sometimes these people that you think are mouth-breathing idiots come up with brilliant shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, head ain't.
Moving on.
Are we ready to talk about the infamous whisper?
Are we? I think because they're about to leave, right?
That's what I got, right?
Jenner opens the doors. They convince him to. Mm-hmm. And everybody's about to leave. And he grabs Rick and says something in his ear.
Right. What do we want to... Should we talk about that in the spoiler section? Or... I feel like this is the end of season 1. I almost feel like there are at this point. Go ahead and talk about whatever. It's safe to say that no, and really not because it's
we
kind
know
of
a lot more now.
It's a huge cliffhanger, and maybe we'll talk about it in the spoilers. Let's talk. Let's kick it to the spoilers. I'm going to bold it, and we'll talk about it.
So then Dale tries to convince Andrea, or he does convince Andrea not to stay behind, while the rest of the group tries to get out.
Andrea pretty clearly thinks that that's basically Dale pulling something. What do you think? I'm kind of on the Dale side of this camp.
I am too, because there's really, as far as Dale can see, not a reason for her to stay. Like,
Well,
I mean, her
thing
sister's
is-
dead, but she's still got the people around her.
Do you think if it got down to 30 seconds, Dale would have been like, all right, you called my bluff, I'm out of here?
No.
Well,
no,
then,
I think
then
Dale
he's
was in
not
it.
pulling something. He's like, I don't want to live if you're dying.
Yeah.
Which, that puts his death on Andrea, but that's legit.
Sure.
I mean, that's a choice he was making, just like she was making a choice. So it really annoyed me to see her kind of like bitch facing him at the end of the season, you know, and saying, "Don't do this to me, Dale." Well, fuck you. You're doing this to him.
Yeah.
And the rest of the survivors. So if you're making an arguably selfish choice, how is he any more or less selfish than you are? I'm saying
Yeah,
arguably
no,
because
I'm with you there.
Honestly, I can't criticize the choice to commit suicide in this environment.
Sure. It's a pretty harsh environment.
It seems like just like if you are in the top floors of the Twin Towers on 9/11 and
Ooh,
jumping
too soon.
jumping to the sidewalk, I don't think that's exactly giving up. You know,
Sure.
that's taking ownership of your life and saying, all right, I'm going to end it on my terms in as best way as I possibly can. And going by, thermobaric fuel air explosion compared to being gnawed on by zombies, not bad.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And then you don't have to come back as a zombie.
Right. So I kind of see their point, and I just thought it was weird that Andrea is allowed and Dale doesn't ever try to make the contrary point. Like, look, how can you hold this against me when
You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, we're just making choices.
Yeah.
You said I took your choice away from me. You took my choice away from me. So anyway.
But I did like Dale's performance in this scene. I felt
Oh yeah.
like he genuinely cared for Andrea and genuinely didn't want to live if she wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, Jenner's weird shouting and Andrea Lincoln's horrible accent aside, this was a really well acted episode. I don't think we said enough about between Shane and Lori. They really. I mean, one of the reasons that worked so viscerally is because they sold it.
Yeah.
And the scene at the end, even people I don't really necessarily care about, like Jenner and Jackie, they made me feel a little something in their deaths.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And especially the fact that Jenner sees them get out of the facility, and he knows that there is some hope for humanity. That registers on his face, and it really felt powerful. Just
because
he didn't really show much.
He's like, well, I'm going to open the door, but you're still fucked.
Yeah.
And when they're able to get out, I do think you're right, that's like, well, life kind of, Jurassic Parkian, life found the way.
Yeah.
So maybe the female Tyrannosaurus will start breeding.
There you go.
The French will find the cure, and
Ian Malcolm will show up.
Yep.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
The other thing that I really liked about this scene is when they're trying to get out, and Shane's blasting away with this shotgun at the window, and it's not working. How early in the series they set up this grenade, and how nonchalant.
Chekhov's motherfucking grenade.
Yeah, that was really well played.
Like, Breaking Bad's Ryson almost doesn't have anything on this grenade.
Yeah, a well-placed grenade.
Yeah.
And the expression on Rick's face when he pulls that pin, he's like, what? Oh, I just did that. I got to get out of here.
That is kind of weird. Like,
I liked it.
Oh, really? I thought it was...
Yeah.
You do know how grenades work, right? You didn't have a plan for...
Yeah, but I feel like it's not a reality to him until he lets the thing go.
And more probably, if I'm being charitable, he is just on survival mode. It's like, well, I got this grenade, I need to pull the pin. Oh shit, that means it's going to blow up now, and I need to get So I'll give that to him.
Yeah. That's really all I've got there. But then
I was wondering when we sat down to watch this, and they showed the viewer warning graphic, blah blah blah. They don't do that for every episode. I'm like, why did they do this? Because I don't remember this episode being particularly violent, and it's relatively zombie free. The last minute is pretty. I mean, they're pulling some Dead Island shit here.
Yeah.
There are heads being decapitated.
Well, it reminds me a lot of Shaun of the Dead, where they're running through the yard and they're just whacking zombies over the head.
It reminded me a lot of Dead Alive, because I watched you play a lot of that.
Yeah,
just running and you get the machete just right and it lop the head off.
Yeah, and you just run through a pack.
Yeah. Speaking of video games, the CDC explosion is one of the worst modern special effects I've seen in a big budget production.
Yeah, I really wish they had done that with like a physical model and just blown it up.
When they showed that long kind of medium range shot of the superstructure collapsing and exploding, I swear to God, it looked like a cutscene from like one of the early Command and Conquer games from like 1995.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It like Tiberian Sun. That was something from...
You expect Kane to walk out.
Yeah, and that was the Tiberium refinery explosion.
Yeah.
I think they just recycled it, actually.
They might have. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go with a physical model there. It probably would have looked way better.
Yeah, but it might have been expensive. It's getting to the point where practical effects are way more expensive, and in the grand scheme of things, 5 years into, let's say, a successful Walking Dead run, and they're wrapping it up, and assuming everything else works, are you really going to remember that, oh boy, that explosion was bullshit?
And nobody stopped watching the series because the explosion sucked.
No.
So, yeah, you're probably right. So then, the end of this episode is really, really good. And I actually like this episode quite a bit. It might be my favorite of the...
Pilot is awfully good.
Yeah, it's my second favorite.
Clear second favorite.
Yeah. But the music that they play at the end...
There's a lot of bitching about it on the internet.
What kind of bitching?
I don't understand, because I feel like the internet and me with The Walking Dead, if I love an episode, they hated it. And if I hate an episode, they freaking love it.
I feel like the internet is mostly in it for zombies and action and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's a popular sentiment to say that, like, the Breaking Bad episode, Fly.
Yeah,
a lot of people think that that's bullshit. When I think
it's one of the best.
One of the best. Yeah, these what do they call them? Fish tank episodes.
Sure.
And also, they got away from the zombies, and unlike what happens some in season 2, they're in a safe environment, and they actually got to explore the characters and what makes them tick, and we learn things about, number one, the situation, and number two, the characters that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
Now, I guess season 2 would be if they stayed in the CDC for 5 episodes or 6 episodes, and we just saw scenes of them getting drunk and getting in, and like if Shane tried to rape Lori 3 or 4 times.
And then apologized 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like, okay, what the fuck? So I think these kind of episodes are great, and if they would do better job of exploiting the few moments of safety and civilization that these people do manage to find, everyone would be a lot happier with it.
Yeah. So the end of this episode where they're playing, I think it's Bob Dylan. I'm not sure what song it is, but it sounds a lot like Bob Dylan. Really powerful, in my opinion, because now they're no longer safe. They're heading back out on the road, and maybe if it was Willie Nelson, they could have played On the Road Again. That would have been a good song to put in there.
Right.
But I really felt this scene a lot, where they're just, everybody's kind of like resetting mentally and saying, okay, we're back out in this now. Let's get into gear.
Yeah. I was trying to find the actual song that they did play. I could probably go to AMC's thing and find it, but their website is organized terribly. Not conducive for me finding stuff.
Quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then that's all I've got for
the building
recap.
that's shown as the CDC is actually the Cobb Energy Center, which is a performing arts center in Atlanta. I thought it looked a little like liberal artsy.
Yeah.
It's got the kind of almost Sydney Opera like weird white concrete looping structures. Sydney Opera House, you know what I'm talking about?
They should have just blown that up.
The Sydney Opera House.
For the explosion. Just do it in real life. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, have you seen the iPhone app, the action movie app, where you could actually shoot? You could take a picture and it'll shoot missiles.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It would have been hilarious if they just like.
We'll recap the scene.
Took a picture of the Sydney Opera House and used the action movie app, and then filmed that with a digital camera.
Yeah. I'll put a video up on our site of that.
Yeah. Anyway, I couldn't find the song. It's either Willie Nelson or
Bob Dylan
or someone else.
I'm leaning towards Dylan.
It's one of those 3 options. It's either Willie or
and we're
going
to get so much flack for not
else.
knowing who this is or what song it is.
Email it, man.
Yeah,
rip us a new one.
Send us some feedback.
It's not like we hold back, so
yeah, that's true. That's it. That's all I've got for this episode.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Do you want me
what was your overall take? You said you liked it second best.
And yeah, it's a very close second best. It's not like I thought the pilot was 10 times better than this.
Yeah.
And it might even just be that the pilot was a little bit longer, and it just the opening scenes and Andrew Lincoln waking up and trying to figure all that and how much tension. Again, I think the pilot is probably the most effective episode as a pure horror piece because it actually builds since where you're like, shit, this guy's going to get jumped.
Yeah, it's very tense.
Yeah. And
but I felt like this was a really good cap to the season because it, like I said earlier, sets up the fact that this is not going away.
Yeah, because you had up to this point this whole arc of where there's hope.
Yeah.
There's a refuge center in Atlanta that got dashed. You know, there's maybe this, there's maybe that. The CDC was, well, God, if there's going to be any place that's still up and running, it'd be the world headquarters of this Central Disease Center, or Center of Disease Control.
And not only do we find that's busted, but all around the world, everybody is down.
Because since it is the world headquarters, they actually know absolutely that every place else is dark and gone to shit.
Definitely.
So this is the death of all hope as far as our survivors are concerned of getting a normal life.
All right. Do we want to do an outro and then maybe a little spoiler action after the music?
Yeah. What do we think about, before we do that, just as this season of a whole? I thought I was a little disappointed in the middle, but I was really pumped up for season 2 because of the way it's the strong finish of Wildfire and this.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to season 2 in that it started okay, disappointing in the middle, finished very strongly. I'm pumped up for season 2.5. Now that we've seen all of season 1 and recapped it, do you rank season 1 above season 2 or below?
Well, we haven't seen the end of the second half of season 2.
All right,
but as far as
season 1 and season 2 are similar in length.
Yeah, sure.
Let's just direct to compare season 2 and season 1 and season 2.0.
I would say that season 1 is slightly better because it deals with all these pertinent zombie scenario issues. You know, like we're saying, what happened to the infrastructure? What happened to everything? It's kind of building hope and then dashing it. Whereas season 2, it feels like, okay, the hope is gone. Now it's just a story of survival. Mm-hmm. And how are these people going to survive? And that's also interesting, but I feel like if they can pull it back towards, well, we need to figure out how we're going, like our long-term survival, not just our immediate survival.
Well,
they need a little bit more of that in there for season 2 to end it.
I also don't think that they knew that they were going to split this thing up into 2 when they made it.
Yeah.
Just think about like season 2 of Justified. If we had to recap season 2 up to like the 6th episode, we'd have been like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah, and I don't like this much at all.
I think, this is compared to season 1, season 2 is crap. But then the last half of season 2 made the whole thing work.
Yeah.
And work well. So it's entirely possible. And Breaking Bad does that a lot, too. There was a point, I think, around episode 5 or 6 of Breaking Bad season 4, which is one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen, where we were all going like, where the hell is this going?
But to be fair, it never got to tell it to the frogs level.
It never got to some of the stuff we saw in season 2.0 of The Walking Dead, where just so much wasted time.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen that much wasted time since like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars.
But that's why it's probably the best show on television, you know?
But I'm just saying that we might, when we see season 2.5 might just be freaking awesome. Because
certainly.
It's where it's downhill and pedal to the metal, and it's just going to be breathless. I'm hoping that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But as it stands, I prefer season 1, and by a fair margin.
It's pretty close for me.
Honestly.
But yeah, season 1 is better in my opinion.
Honestly think that if you did a Walking Dead Apocalypse cut of season 2, that it could be 90 minutes long.
You might be right about that. Not a lot happens there.
Right. I mean, I thought it was an indictment of season 1 that you got a cut that's 3.5 hours long and didn't
out of
really
a 5 hour
and didn't really lose anything. Well, I'm telling you what, I bet you can make a 90-minute cut of season 2.0 and be very tight and very entertaining.
We'll see. Hopefully, the guy who did the Walking Dead Apocalypse will also cut season 2.
Kickstarter, because I'd kick in.
Oh yeah,
I'd kick in
at least
Blu-ray
$1 or $2.
Oh,
no,
shit! I'm gonna give the man $30, Jim.
Of course, I'm kidding.
Just a buck or two.
All right, take us out. Take us out, man.
If you'd like to keep up with the other stuff that Jim and I are doing, for example, we do a Breaking Bad podcast. We do a Justified cast currently. We also are starting Game of Thrones, Mad Men. All those casts on baldmove.com.
Man, we are ramping up with the podcast. We're about to jump into 4 different casts now.
I just look at the schedule. I'm going to be doing 4 recaps in a week for like a 2-week stretch in April.
And most of the time we'll be doing 3 weeks.
And if you think I've been savage on shows before, if those shows aren't bringing their A game, I'm ripping them.
Yeah, so we really, like, we say it every week, but we do need your guys' support, because this, when it gets into the forecast a week stuff, I mean, think about it. How would you do 3 hours of work 4 times a week? Mm-hmm. Aside from your regular job and everything else you got to do, you know?
Right.
So it's really like you guys are keeping us going through this. And the more iTunes reviews we can get and the more feedback and stuff like that, that's going to keep us going through it.
Yep.
So we appreciate all of that.
And the way to get it to us is you can email us at watchingdead@baldmove.com. Follow us on Facebook.com/baldmove and Twitter @baldmove to find out the second that our podcast drop and to give us feedback, share links with us, cool stuff like that. A way that you can support us is also through your iTunes reviews, positive iTunes reviews and subscriptions. That kind of raises our iTunes profile and our internet profile so we get more listeners. And you can directly support us by using our amazon.baldmove.com link. And again, if you're not familiar with the way affiliate links work, you don't get charged anything extra. Your shipping is the same great product, same great prices. Amazon just gives us a little tiny portion of their cut. Mm-hmm. We get a cut of their cut for referring you. And that goes to support our bandwidth. I mean, we're pushing terabytes of this stuff out a month.
Yeah.
It supports our website hosting. And, you know, our goal is to keep this absolutely free. And,
and sustainably so.
You know, if you have to listen to us for 2 minutes drone on about these little advertisements, that's the worst it's ever going to be, because so far we're getting the bills paid. So we appreciate you guys doing that. And again, you know, if you buy anything off Amazon, it's not like we want you to buy anything extra. If you're using it, please use amazon.baldmove.com.
All right.
And that's it.
That's it for the outro.
Except for spoilers, we're done at The Walking Dead for a couple weeks, and we'll see you.
Yeah, I think it comes back
around President's Day, like the
February
14th.
It's 14th or 17th.
I can
the
tell
14th is Valentine's Day.
I think it's 18th, isn't it?
It might be. I'm not sure exactly. But 2 weeks it's going to be back, so we're going to take a week off of Walking Dead and come back with Season 3, Episode 1. Season 2.5.
It comes back on the 12th. February 12th.
Okay. So we get...
weekend before Valentine's
Just
Day.
Barely 2 weeks off.
So there you go. Boys, if you want a good Valentine's Day gift, get Season 1 on Blu-ray for your baby.
Burn this to floppy. Get her the podcast. Wrap it up in a box.
And a bottle of wine and a box of chocolates.
Burn this off to a Sony mini disc.
And some fake blood.
Yeah.
There you go.
Should play it on our Walkman.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Let's get to spoilers.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. As always, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're back with the spoiler section. What do we have to talk about?
I don't have a lot, but I have an email about the infamous Whisperer, which is not exactly a totally new thought, but it is a good place to mention it.
You mentioned that it might not actually be a whisper. It might just be Jenner.
Giving him the little slipperoo.
Yeah, giving him a little tongue action in the ear.
Passing him the pink bubble mint. The Bazooka Joe.
He just fills his ear with bubble gum. That'd be so disgusting.
I was talking about his tongue being the...
Yeah, I gotcha, but wouldn't... that'd be gross.
The grenade that you're about to use is going to be very loud. Let me stuff your ear canals with gum to help protect your hearing.
Turn your right side to the explosion.
Anyway, Adam, one of our listeners, sent us a email a day ago on off season. Said, "Hey guys, he was listening to Pretty Much Dead Already, which is one of the season 2 episodes, and we talked about Jenner." And he thought that maybe he told Rick that the government created the virus and unleashed it either by accident or on purpose. That would be interesting. He had other possibilities. Said maybe he said everyone is infected. That makes sense because it would finally reveal that if you die without destruction of the brain during the apocalypse, you turn into a walker. I'd love for Kirkman to finally tell us how the hell this shit started. Please respond to email or discuss this in your next podcast, as I want to hear your thoughts. Well, Adam, you're in luck because we are responding via podcast. What do you think, Jim?
You're going to have to read the two options again because I was looking up email as you were going.
Okay. One is that he told Rick that the government created virus and unleashed it either by accident or on purpose.
Damn.
It's like a 12 monk. No, I don't. Is that the plot for 12 Monkeys?
I don't know.
Bruce Willis was in it.
Yeah,
I do know
Brad
that
Pitt as well.
Or he said, or maybe he said that everyone is infected. Because the one of the leading theories, if you're
well, that would be
a
blatant lie. He's talking to someone who isn't. So
no, but okay, wait. Let me unpack this. We do know that one popular theory going into season 2 was he told him that your wife's pregnant.
Yeah.
That turns out either to be, it has to be false.
It can't be true, yeah.
Because if it turns out later to be true, I'm going to call bullshit on the show because Andrew Lincoln had a perfect opportunity to tell exactly this in season 2 and he didn't take it.
And he acted shocked.
I mean, Rick did. So if they turn out to later to retcon that in, I'm going to be pissed. Number 2, if the government made it and deliberately released it, I don't know if that actually gives an interesting twist on it. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't see that plot going anywhere. What are they going to march to the underground government bunker and kill everybody?
Right.
Like take vengeance on the... Yeah, I don't... It wouldn't matter.
Go to undead President Obama and, pee on his undead corpse?
I don't know, man.
It doesn't seem like there would be any satisfaction to that.
No, definitely not.
What about the everyone is infected? Now, you said everyone's not infected. That's according to the canon of the comic book, and we don't know if the TV is going to follow this exactly. But the comic book, everyone is infected.
Gotcha.
You're already infected, you die. Even if you die of an infected paper cut or you break your neck, you're going to come back as, interesting. You're going to come back as a zombie. You break your neck, you're going to come back as a zombie that's paraplegic, right? Or quadriplegic.
Yeah. If you sever your spine, your spinal cord, sure.
All right, just want to make sure. But you're going to come back regardless of how you die, even if you die of like stomach poisoning or food poisoning or.
And I actually like that option because that to me really spells out Jenner's hope, his lack of hope. Because if everyone is infected, what is the end game here? That everyone in the future who dies is going to have to be shot through the head immediately? Like, that's how we're going to dispose of our dead in the future?
I don't think that's a problem.
I mean, I guess it's not a problem for the long-term survival of humanity, but that does raise an interesting question, I guess. Like, are the people prepared to do that? Because we see in season 2, Lori has a big problem. I think it's in season 2.
Season 1, she threw a shit fit about, we
need to bury our dead. Glenn was on that side. So, I mean, that could throw an interesting thing into it way down the line.
I do think that our funerary customs... I got this book called... I want to say it's called Vampirism, Death, and Burial. And it's a scientific look at the vampire myths and... how a surprising amount of our funerary customs are derived from us being terrified of dead bodies. And not because like we think they're going to get up and walk around, but because dead bodies were very huge source of pestilence back in the day. Yeah. So like, burying them and putting them in boxes and doing all these things were to keep that contagion contained.
Sure.
So I could totally buy that, 100 years into a Walking Dead future, that putting a bullet in your loved one's head is as ceremonial as throwing the first handful of dirt on the coffin.
Sure.
Maybe instead of having a pallbearer...
Or an open casket funeral for him, you know?
Maybe instead of a pallbearer, you got the gun bearer that puts the gun in the mouth and pulls the trigger. And
the 21 gun salute will just be 21 bullets to the head.
Yeah, so it's like, I actually think that's kind of a fascinating thing to think about, but... I think that is the end game. You would do stuff like that until, the contagion gets cleared.
And again, I don't think it's relevant to the show, I mean, at most it's going to cause a couple of people to disagree on how to dispose of the dead bodies, like way down the line, but I don't see it being relevant enough to make it this big cliffhanger thing.
Right.
Whatever he told him has to be
Yeah, at this
important,
point,
and there has to be some sense of immediacy in it.
Let me give you a fourth option. They're just going to pretend like this never happened.
I hate that option. I hate it.
Yeah, but I think that's actually where they're going to go. There's different showrunner. It's just going to basically be like the Walt plot line of Lost.
No, man.
Like they paint themselves in the corner. The kid grew up too fast. And they're like, fuck it. We're just never going to mention it again.
Yeah. We're just going to have this character. His job is going to be to scream Walt for the next 3 seasons. Walt! Yeah, I'm really going to be disappointed if they just drop that. It goes nowhere.
I kind of made peace with that we're not going to get a satisfactory explanation because and maybe this is a little bit of spoiled grape because I really thought it was going to be Lori's pregnant. And now that that's not an option, I'm like, what the fuck could it possibly be? Because either these things we discuss, honestly, Adam, I think you're right, but both of these explanations are kind of horseshit.
Yeah.
Whether it's government's like, I'm not going to be thrilled and everybody's dead. At this point, I feel like this is Kirkman's universe. They're not going to change that big of a rule to the zombie thing. That's also going to be anticlimactic. But then again, I've read the comics.
And I got to say, they're almost getting to the point where I don't care anymore what it is. Like, they couldn't reveal a good enough thing to make me go, that's awesome.
When is Rick going to fucking tell the rest of the group? Because both of these things he could have told him in all the time they wasted in season 2.0.
Exactly.
Like, there's many points where he could have said, everybody, I've lost the ability to do Rick this late.
It's late, yeah.
He's basically like, you don't understand. Everyone is infected. I mean, he could have said that on any numerous occasions.
You don't understand. The government did it.
Right. It's the government.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, Rick. That doesn't matter.
The zombie apocalypse was an inside job.
Tower 7.
He's busy making the YouTube video.
Oh, boy.
Loose brains. If you don't have any friends who are 9/11 conspiracy nuts,
it's a trip.
You probably have no idea what we're talking about. And if you're a conspiracy nut yourself, please don't email me about it.
Yeah, oh God.
But,
all right, well, let's move into another correction on a spoiler that we dropped last episode, I think. And if I've already corrected this, I can't remember, so tell me. But basically, Mike emailed us, Mike D from the Beastie Boys, he emailed us like 2 weeks ago and said this tweet about Michonne is gonna show up in the show near the end of at the end of season 3, episode 313. He corrected. He emailed in and said it's actually episode 213.
Okay.
So that really shifts the timeline because we were speculating, prison end of season 2. Now I'm thinking prison ASAP. I'm thinking they're off the farm.
Well, I mean, that would follow. Like I said, that would follow the book.